Hey everyone, so let's talk about motorcycle maintenance. I know, for some, it just sounds like a chore, right? A list of things you have to do. But today, we're going to flip that script. We're talking about turning those tasks into a ritual, a way to build a real, lasting bond with your Royal Enfield Classic 350. It's about making sure it's not just a bike, but a true companion for the road.
All right, so you've got this beautiful machine, a Classic 350. It's built like a tank, it's got soul, but what's the real secret to making it a legend? You know, the kind of bike that's still thumping along perfectly 20, 30 years from now? Well, the secret isn't some crazy complex thing. It's you. It all comes down to the care and attention you give it. So yeah, let's get right into it.
First up, we're diving straight into the most important part, the heartbeat of your bike, the engine and its fluids. Seriously, think of it just like that, the heart. And what flows through it? Well, that's its lifeblood. It's absolutely crucial.
Okay, you see this number, 20W50. This isn't just some technical jargon. This is the stuff. This is the exact oil grade Royal Enfield recommends. And for good reason, especially if you're riding on warmer weather. Using the right oil is, without a doubt, the single best thing you can do to protect your engine from heat and wear. It's your first line of defense. Seriously.
And this number here, 1,000 kilometers, this is your first big checkpoint. That first 1,000 K is the break-in period, and that oil change you do right then, it might just be the most important oil change your bike will ever have. Why? Because you're flushing out all the tiny little metal bits that come off as the new engine parts wear in together. You get that stuff out, and you're setting the stage for a healthy engine for years and years to come.
So, let's talk about what actually happens during that first 1,000 K. It's pretty simple, really. Think of it like this is your bike's childhood. You got to treat it right. By keeping your speed down, below 50, 60 kilometers per hour, and not revving the heck out of it, you're letting all the internal parts, especially the piston rings, get to know each other. They're seating in perfectly against the cylinder walls, creating this super tight seal. And that seal, that's what gives you great power and fuel efficiency for the rest of the bike's life. You're basically teaching it good habits from day one.
All right, so we've talked about the heart. Now let's move on to the lungs. We're talking about air and fuel. This is literally how your bike breathes. And, it's just like us. If you can't get a good, clean breath of air, you're not going to be able to perform your best. Same goes for your bike.
And this just shows you everything you need to know. A clogged air filter, it's like asking your engine to run a marathon while breathing through a tiny straw. It's just gasping for air. What happens? Well, your power drops, your mileage goes down the drain, and you're just putting unnecessary strain on the whole engine. A clean filter, on the other hand, lets it breathe freely. You get all the power, all the efficiency. It's a no-brainer. Make sure you clean or replace it every 5,000 to 8,000 kilometers. And hey, if you ride in dusty places, you're going to want to do that a lot more often.
Okay, so the engine's making all this beautiful power, but how does that power actually get to the pavement and move you forward? Well, that's where your drivetrain and tires come in. We're talking chain, sprockets, and rubber. Keeping these in check is what gives you that smooth, connected feel, and most importantly, it's what keeps you safe.
This right here is your go-to guide. Let's start with the drive chain. Every 500 kilometers or so, you got to give it some love. A good clean, a proper lube, and a quick check of the tension. It makes a huge difference. Then you've got your sprockets. When you're looking at them, check for teeth that look sharp or hooked, like a shark's fin. If they're worn, replace them. And always replace them as a set with the chain. And finally, your tires. This one's simple. Check the pressure before every single ride. It's everything for good handling and for your safety.
All right, let's get into the stuff that puts you in command, the systems that really connect you, the rider, to the road. We're talking about your controls, your brakes, ignition, suspension. These things are totally non-negotiable. They're all about safety and making sure your ride is comfortable.
So here's what you need to keep an eye on. Brake pads. That's kind of an obvious one, right? Please don't wait until you hear that awful grinding sound. But what a lot of people forget is the brake fluid. It actually absorbs water from the air over time, which is not good. So flushing it every 2 years is a must. Then there's the spark plug. This tiny little thing is responsible for igniting everything, so a quick inspection every 5,000 kilometers is a great idea. And then we have the unsung heroes, your fork oil, which keeps the front end feeling plush. And of course, if you have a liquid-cooled model, that coolant is what keeps your engine from getting too hot.
Okay, we've gone over a lot of the mechanical stuff. But, being a good owner is more than just turning a wrench in the garage. It's about your habits, your daily rituals. This is where we get into the real philosophy of what it means to ride a Royal Enfield.
I love this because it really gets to the heart of what this bike is all about.
Look, a Classic 350 is not a screaming sport bike you take to the red line in every gear. It's a cruiser. It loves a nice, steady, thumping rhythm. When you lean into that, when you ride it smoothly, not only is the ride way more enjoyable, but you're also doing your engine a massive favor. It puts so much less stress on it in the long run.
So really, the secret sauce is just making these little things part of your routine. That quick 1 or 2 minute warm-up before you take off, that's not just for show. It's getting the oil moving everywhere it needs to be. Washing the bike regularly, especially after a rainy ride, that's your best defense against rust. And honestly, one of the biggest things is to just listen to your bike. You'll get to know its sounds. If you hear a weird new noise or feel a strange vibration, that's your bike talking to you. It's your early warning system to catch a small issue before it turns into a massive headache.
Look, at the end of the day, every time you change the oil or clean that chain or just do a quick pre-ride check, you're writing a sentence in the story of your motorcycle. This goes way beyond just maintenance. It's about being a caretaker, a custodian of this amazing machine. You're not just an owner, you're crafting its legacy. So the real question is, what's the story that you and your Classic 350 are going to tell together in 20 years?